APTIS listening test. Take time to read the questions by using the pause button.
You will hear 5 different people talking about a new congestion charging scheme to reduce traffic pollution in cities. For questions 1 to 5, choose from the list A to F the opinions each speaker expresses. Use the letters only once. There is one extra letter you do not need to use. You now have 30 seconds to look at part 3. Speaker 1.
People won't stop driving because the improvements to the public transport network aren't adequate. Before planning a scheme like this, they need to make public transport much cheaper and more efficient. The scheme may be successful in reducing congestion, but air quality won't improve because people will either find alternative routes or drive to places where they won't be charged for using their cars. And in many cases, people will have no choice. They'll just have to pay the charge. It's just another way to take money off of us.
Speaker 2.
We can't go on as we are, and our roads just get more and more congested each year. A journey to my local supermarket, which used to take 5 minutes, now always takes me at least 15 minutes because of the traffic. While I appreciate it's going to make life more difficult for some people, something has to be done to reduce congestion and pollution. Most people won't be affected too badly, so why is everyone against the idea of congestion charging?
Speaker 3.
It will affect us in lots of ways, none of them positive. Firstly, our costs will go up, as our suppliers will charge us more for bringing goods into the city centre. Secondly, it will cost our employees more to get to work. For some of them who work at night, public transport isn't an option, so it may be harder for us to recruit staff. And thirdly, it will affect our customers, because it will be more expensive and less convenient for them to get to us, which means they may go elsewhere.
Speaker 4.
The congestion charge will literally be a breath of fresh air to local residents, not just because there will be less traffic in the area and so less noise and pollution, but because we will all get a 90% discount on paying the congestion charge. Anyway, it really isn't necessary to have a car if you live here. We're so close to the centre of the city that it's not as though it's far to get the tube or bus to get to work or to go shopping.
Speaker 5.
I think it's the only way to persuade people not to use their cars. Surely the aim of discouraging people from driving into the city centre is a good thing. I'm sure once people realise there's less traffic on the road, they'll be more inclined to start cycling. It'll be much safer without all those big lorries thundering past. People may even get into the habit of walking again, which will be much better for their health as well as for the environment.
You will hear people talking in 3 different situations. For questions 1 to 3, choose the best answer, A, B, or C. 1. You overhear 2 people talking at the end of the day. Where are they? A. In a shop. B. In an office. C. At home.
Oh, I'm ready to put my feet up on the sofa now. What a day.
I've had quite a good day, but I am looking forward to watching TV tonight. I don't have any work to take home for once.
I've got loads to do, but it'll wait till Monday.
I'll walk with you if you're ready. I need to stop at the supermarket, though, to get something for dinner.
Oh, could you get me some milk? I just need to send a couple of emails. I'll see you outside the supermarket entrance in 5 minutes.
Two. You hear a man talking on the phone about a job he has been offered. How does he feel? A. Confused. B. Relieved. C. Surprised.
Yeah, they've offered it to me. Well, as soon as I went into the interview, I kind of knew I was right for the job, so I was really expecting to be offered it. But now it's actually happened, I've realised that I've got to move to Germany, and I don't know anyone there. It's a good job, of course, so I should take it. In fact, it's the job of my dreams, but now I've also been offered one nearby. If I took that one, I wouldn't have to move. But it's not so interesting.
Three. You hear a woman talking on the radio about her job. What does she say about it? A. It's tiring. B. It's interesting. C. It's exciting.
Well, my job is quite varied and I really enjoy it. I know there are some photography jobs which take you to all kinds of amazing places, so some people would find my job a bit boring maybe, taking photos of children all day long. It's mainly children. Their parents bring them to the studio and sometimes I take family groups. But I love it, and the day passes so fast because the whole process fascinates me, getting the right shot, and everyone is different. I'm on my feet nearly all day, but I'm used to that, so it doesn't bother me.
You will hear 5 different people talking about a film they have seen. For questions 1 to 5, choose from the list A to F what each person thinks about the film. Use the letters only once. There is one extra letter which you do not need to use. You now have 30 seconds to look at part 3. Speaker 1.
Have you seen Black Watch 3 yet? I really enjoyed the other Black Watch films, and this one is just as funny. It's got the same actors in it as the others, and they're really good as usual. The story continues from the last film, you know, when they were on that desert island. But even if you hadn't seen that, you'd still be able to follow what was happening. But I was just getting involved in the story when it suddenly finished. It's only half the length of the other 2 films. It started well, but didn't get a chance to develop properly.
Speaker 2.
I'd read about the Purple Rose and it sounded really good. I hadn't heard of any of the actors, but they should get a lot more parts now after their performances in this film. The only problem was that there were 5 or 6 different storylines which made it very difficult to follow. It's full of action, which meant I couldn't take my eyes off the screen, and there are some good comedy scenes, but I wasn't sure half the time why something was happening. It could have been shorter too, and it wouldn't have lost anything.
Speaker 3.
A Beautiful Land is set in New Zealand and is based on a book of the same name. They'd obviously gone to a lot of trouble to make sure they followed the story and the locations in the book. There are lots of beautiful shots. It's about 2 people who emigrated there 100 years ago, so it's a love story, really. And the 2 main actors are really good. But there's not much else to it, and to be honest, I couldn't wait for it to finish. It could have been at least 30 minutes shorter. It really wouldn't have made much difference.
Speaker 4.
Stephen Chadley is my favourite director, so I was looking forward to his new film, Out of the Blue. He always chooses at least one unknown actor as one of the stars, and he's never made a mistake before. So, despite being set in a wonderful location in southern Thailand and having a really good script and gripping storyline, I didn't think any of the actors did a very good job, even those who are quite well known. There were some funny moments, though, and it's got a very good ending, not what you'd expect at all.
Speaker 5.
Jack Bradley and Manuel Gonzalez star in A Long Ride. They are apparently good friends in real life. That came across in the film, which is about a trip on a motorbike across South America. They didn't have a script, they just filmed what happened, and a lot of interesting things did happen. The acting was of a really high standard, but they are both very good comic actors, and it was a shame they didn't take advantage of that. It could have been quite funny, but was actually rather depressing. It was quite long, but because they're always moving on to a new location, it didn't seem to matter.